Right now, we're looking at a standard 3D model turning from basic geometry into complete photorealism in real time. The visual ceiling for architectural rendering has completely relocated in 2026. But actually starting a project right now means staring at a flowchart that splinters in dozens of directions. You have D5, Twinmotion, V-Ray, Corona, plus standalone AI tools, all claiming to be the standard. Solo designers can now compute light bounces and atmospheric effects locally that used to require a 20-node render farm. High-tier realism is now accessible from a single workstation. This creates a trap. Buying into the loudest marketing reel often leads a firm to adopt a software pipeline that actively fights their own business model. A cheap monthly subscription is meaningless if that software demands a $5,000 workstation on every desk just to keep the viewport from stuttering. A physically perfect path trace demo looks great on YouTube. It looks terrible when your client is asking for a quick design change and your entire studio is frozen, waiting for a 3-hour render to finish. Visual quality has become a commodity. The modern production bottleneck is found in hardware overhead and the complexity of subscription tiers. Firms are standardizing their entire visual output on real-time engines like D5 Pro, Twinmotion, and Lumion. These engines now integrate local AI to handle the busy work. They can instantly generate background environments, automatically populate vegetation, and rapidly test early material options. There is a direct cost to that speed: hardware. Running real-time ray tracing and AI smoothly requires high-tier GPUs with 16 gigabytes of VRAM, but you gain instant LiveSync plugins. Move a wall in CAD and it moves in the render instantly. Drag a slider to scrub through a full sun path or change the weather to an overcast afternoon, and the lighting recalculates immediately. The trade-off for this speed is control. You surrender the ability to precisely tune materials or perfectly balance a complex interior light bounce. You accept a slight drop in microscopic perfection to walk a client through a live model and answer their design questions on the spot. The financial structure of these tools is also shifting aggressively. Epic Games draws a strict line at $1 million in revenue. Earn under that, Twinmotion and Unreal Engine are free. Cross it, and you pay $1,850 per seat, yearly. Compare that to D5 Pro at $456. Then you have to factor in cloud credits. Relying on credit-based cloud rendering for heavy animations can drain a project budget in an afternoon. A software pipeline built around a free real-time tool works perfectly until your firm scales. Then that free tool instantly becomes a heavy enterprise expense. This brings us to offline ray-traced engines like V-Ray and Corona. These remain the industry standard for a reason. When an interior scene requires perfectly calculated lighting and complex textures, they deliver an image that holds up to the closest scrutiny. This chart maps out exactly where they sit. High cost, high control. That level of accuracy costs time. You are stepping away from instant feedback and moving into a workflow that requires dedicated render farms to process high-resolution frames. These complex rendering engines are typically hosted inside heavy digital content creation platforms like 3ds Max, Cinema 4D, or Blender. This environment gives you complete authority over geometry. You can build procedural assemblies, custom fluid simulations, and rig complex mechanical behaviors that simple real-time plugins cannot process. For highly customized, layered animations that deviate from standard architectural fly-throughs, a DCC pipeline is mandatory. The barrier here is the operator. These interfaces are dense and unforgiving. They require a full-time, specialized visualization artist, not an architect trying to render between client meetings. You abandon live design reviews entirely, but you secure the ability to produce pixel-perfect, completely controlled imagery for premium marketing campaigns. Let's break it down by business model to see where these tools actually belong. For a solo freelancer or budget-conscious beginner, the priority is keeping overhead near zero. Blender provides a completely free, full 3D suite. Twinmotion is free if you stay under the $1 million mark, and DeFi Community offers a solid, no-cost entry point into path tracing. Your cost is paid elsewhere. With Blender, you pay with the time it takes to learn a complex interface. With DeFi Community, you accept a 1080p resolution limit and watermarks on your deliverables. For a mid-sized architecture firm, the operational needs are completely different. Here, standardizing on DeFi Pro or Enscape makes the most sense. The tight live sync integration with Revit or SketchUp keeps the architects inside their native CAD environment while providing immediate visual feedback. Mid-sized firms prioritize frictionless design and clear client communication over absolute realism. If they need a premium hero shot for a final campaign, they outsource it. That brings us to the large, dedicated ArchViz studio, producing deliverables for high-end real estate developers. Their optimal pipeline is hosting V-Ray or Corona inside 3ds Max for still imagery, and paying for Unreal Engine seats to build interactive VR showrooms. This setup allows a studio to capture the highest-tier real estate contracts, where both ultra-high-resolution stills and immersive VR are non-negotiable, but it carries the absolute highest total cost of ownership. It requires enterprise licenses, massive render farms, and a payroll dedicated entirely to highly specialized technical artists. This is what that pipeline produces: a luxury waterfront villa at dusk, where every reflection, shadow, and interior light is controlled with absolute precision. Before adopting a workflow, you have to run your own numbers. Look at your gross revenue limits, map out your hardware constraints, and determine what level of control your clients are actually willing to pay for. The right choice comes down to your business model. Let me know in the comments which engine you are betting your 2026 budget on and what GPU you're currently running to keep it alive.